Good morning. My name is Bejide Oluwafemi David. In this video, we are going to learn how to perform land use land cover classification, also known as image classification, using support vector machine in the ArcGIS Pro environment. So this morning we are going to use the ArcGIS Pro. What is image classification? Image classification is a process of categorizing the pixels of remotely sensed image into their classes. Okay, so we classify the image that has been taken by satellite or area photographs into their real life land uses. So there are two types of image classification. Number one is supervised classification, or there are two methods. Number two is unsupervised classification. In the supervised classification, the analyst or the geospatial analyst provides samples or trainings to the algorithm to be used to classify the image. It is like a process of training a small girl how to identify objects based on their characteristics. While the unsupervised classification, the algorithm automatically classifies the image based on their spectral reflectance, or based on some characteristics like shape, like color, like height, like texture, and all those things. So those ones that are related together, they look alike. The machine algorithm clusters them together and classifies them as one. So this morning we are going to use the method, the supervised classification method. The first thing we do when we want to classify image on ArcGIS Pro is to bring in our data. So our data is always under the map. So this is map. So under the map, you can click on add data. So my data is under downloads. It's under downloads. I downloaded it from the Google Earth engine. If you have been following my video, I made a video on how to download the remotely sensed Landsat image directly from Google Earth engine. So this morning we are going to use that image from Google Earth engine that I downloaded we are going to classify the image. So it's under my downloads. So I saved it with Landsat Ekiti 2023. So I have this is NDVI. This is Landsat Ekiti 2003, 2008, 2023. So we are going to select this one and press OK. So we are going to wait for it while the image is being added to the environment. So while we wait for it to be added, we are going to need a base map in case we don't have the knowledge of Ekiti State. We have not been to Ekiti State, but we want to carry out image classification that is related to the state. So we are going to need a base map. So to add our base map, and mind you, your data must be connected to the your system to be able to use this. So you come to your map, you see this base map, and select any of the base map. You can see OpenStreetMap and everything. But for the sake of this training, we are going to be using the image hybrid, which I have added. So this is it. I've checked it, so we can use that. So if I toggle this off, so this is the base map. This is the base map. It shows the map of the world and how it looks like. Now for today, now let's go to our land use land cover classification. So let me zoom this to layer. Alright, as you can see, this image that was gotten directly from Google Earth engine, we can see all these black spaces, which is not part of Ekiti State. So we are going to perform an analysis called masking to remove the black spots or the black part of the square. To perform masking, we will need a shape file, a polygon that is of Ekiti State to cut this place. So I will need a shapefile. So to get that, let me go to my map. Mind you, it is under map that we add our data. We can come to this place, add data. So the shapefile of Ekiti State is stored under Ekiti. So this is it. So I click OK. So we are waiting for it while it's being added. So it has been added to the environment. All right. So to perform the mask, you can toggle this off. To perform the masking, we come to analysis. This analysis, you click on this analysis, you click on tools. So you look for mask. You can type mask. So you select extract by mask spatial analyst. Extract by mask spatial analyst is still running. So it's going to ask us to impute our raster data. So we click on this place, we enter Ekiti, the image we brought in. Then it's going to ask us to bring in the Fusion Max data. So we click on this place and use the polygon and the shapefile. All right. So we now click run. So that is the way to mask. We wait for it while it runs. All right. In most of the analysis on geospatial analysis, we have to wait for minutes, for hours, for our analysis to finish running. So we are going to wait for it. All right, our masking is done, so we can close this one. So this was the image we brought in. We can toggle it off. So this is the image we have now, and this is the shapefile. Now to perform the image classification, we click on this one. We click on it like this. We make sure that this place is selected, and we come under imagery. So you click imagery, then press classification wizard. So under the classification wizard, we can see we have supervised, we have unsupervised. So we are going to, the supervised is already selected. So we come to this classification schema, we press this place and use default schema. So press next again. So we have to wait for it. All right, so it has segmented the image, so you can toggle this off, toggle this one off. Now this wizard, image classification wizard, we are going to be using it to provide training samples to our image. But before that, we need the band combination to be able to see this image very well. So you click on this place, you click on this red. So let's put our band on sorry, we are working on this, not that one. So we click on this, so we put it on 6 5 3 6 5 3. So it's now showing the image as it looks like. So if you want to learn more about band combination, let's go a little bit about band combination. So for natural color, we use 432. For false color, 764. For color infrared, 543. Just like that. For image analysis, so we vegetation analysis, so depending on that, so you can go online and check the different band combination for different image. Like this one is for Landsat 8. So we close this. Our band is already in 6 5 3. Now the next thing we want to do is to give training, to provide our training samples. So the first thing I want to look for water body. So let me click on water like this. You can use any of these to provide, but I prefer this. So if you zoom in very well, you will notice that this place is a water body. Then if you zoom to this place very well, this place also is a water body. So inside this particular place in Ado-Ekiti, this place is also a water body. But if you don't know what the image is, you can toggle this off. You can off it, then zoom down very well. Let me do this. Let's on this and put this one to follow. Let's do it like this to know the extent of the image. So you can come to map, press on this. So if you look at this place very well, it's a water body on the ground. So it looks like a water body. It looks like a lake. Then if you check this place very well, if you check this very well, this place too looks like a lake. You can see some houses surrounding. So this is like water. So why it is appearing green is because of probably the green plants or phytoplanktons around the water. So let's click our image back. I click on this, so it is appearing blue. So you can come to this water and click on this, so you select as many as possible. So then come to your map, do that to pan it. Okay, so you can pick this again and keep on selecting anything that looks like or that is water body. So come to your map, click on explore. You can okay. So this place also look like water body. You can click on this. So come to map again, explore, to be able to pan your image. Alright, this is also a water body. You click on it. You zoom very well. So that's all for water body. So you can come to map and pan your image. So we have seen the water body. Another thing we can see here, we can see barren land. If you look at this place very well, it looks yellowish. But if we want to know what is on ground in real life, you can off this image and on this one. So let's look very well. See, this place is a rock. This is a rock. You can see some vegetation around it. So it's rock. But let's look at this place. This place is a built up. This is around Ikerekiti. Okay, all these places are built up. So we can see this is a rock. So let's on our image, extracts. So we can select this one, barren. You click on this barren and you press on this. So you select them as barren. They are rocky and open. So you select as much as possible. So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to tell the algorithm that when you see anything that looks like that, call it a rock or call it a barren ground. So all this yellowish we call them barren. So look at this place too. The image is loading. So any other yellow that we can see there. So all these places they appear yellow. So for us to see what is on ground, we can off this image. We can off it, so we can see that the place looks like on top of the rock. No plants is growing there, no water is there. So and some of them are open, so we can see it real life as it is on the ground. So let's on our image. Let's on it. So all these ones that looks yellowish are barren land, so we select them for barren land. So you can see all those the cubes that we are seeing. They are pixels of the image. They are pixels of a raster image. Raster image are arranged in pixels. Pixels means picture elements. So all this yellowish, they are barren ground or open space. I think that is enough. So let's go to build up, so we can select more. The more training, the more samples you provide, the more accuracy of your results. So let's now go to developed. Developed are the built up area. So once you click on this, you come to this one, so you select any of those ones. So the built up areas. Alright, let me come to my map, select this to be able to pan my image. So you can see this place is an airport. You can see all these places, all that appears very purplish in color. They are the built up, they are houses. So if you want to see them very well, you can off this image and you can see they are houses, built up area. So let's on our image. So on it, so all those purplish color, they are houses. So we can select them as built up. We select as many as possible, while all the yellowish are open spaces where there are no buildings on top of them. So you can select as much as possible built up areas. So let's come to this place and select some, so we can see some built up areas there. So all these places are built up area. They are towns, villages in Ekiti State. So we select the pixel. We can select as much as possible. So this place is another built up area. If you want to know the place, we can just close this place and see. So they are built up area. So let's let them develop. Alright, I think that is enough for built up areas. Now the next thing we want to select is the vegetation. If you look at this vegetation, they are of two types. This, based on the color, there are some that are very greenish in color, they appear very green, while there are some that appear very greenish purple. So that means the vegetation, there are some that is very dense and the other ones that is not as dense as the other. So if we want to see them on ground how they look, we can toggle this off. We can see the vegetation. So all these ones that appears, like this place is a forest reserve. This place is a forest reserve in Ekiti State. Okay, so then all these ones looks very greenish. They are very deep forest. See this place green, see this place is green. So we can see that all this place look like is green, but it's not as green as the other one. So let's on our image. So all these ones that looks very green, let's click on forest. Let's call it this deciduous, and click on this. So these ones that is green but not as purple, we select them as one. This place, they are green but not deep green as others. All these places too, we can see some little greenish area there. So we can't deny the fact that there are vegetations there. This place too is very green. So let's take a look at this place. It looks very yellowish. That means it's a barren ground. Okay, so we can also select it for barren. But so green, all right. So the ones that is very deep green, deep forest, so let's click on this evergreen and click on them. They look very green. The greenness is deeper than the other ones, so we are going to classify them the same. So what we are doing now, we are training our classifier, which is support vector machine, that anytime it sees those greenish, very deep green, call it a deep forest. So in supervised classification, we also have other classifier. We have support vector machine, we have the maximum likelihood, we have the random forest, we have the convolutional neural network CNN. So we have the Gaussian. So all these ones we are tried enough to provide training samples. This place are green. Alright, with this we are done with our training. We have classified the image. We have provide training samples for the image classification. So we now press next. We press next. we press run. So we wait for it while it runs. So let me off this. So we wait for it while it runs. So while we are waiting for that, let me launch my Microsoft Excel. I'm going to do a little bit of calculation to know the area cover, by each of those land uses. So we are waiting for the classifier to classify the image. So it's still running. Our Excel is set up. So wait for it while it runs. So I believe in this video we have learned, number one, how to mask, to cut away some part of raster image using a vector, a polygon. So there are two types of data in GIS. We have the vector data and we have the raster data. The vector data has boundary, while the raster, they are continuous data. So in some of our classes, we'll be differentiating between vector data and raster data. So our image is classifying, so it has segmented it. Okay, so the vector data are discrete data. They have boundary. Can be like a line, like a string, can be like a polygon that has. So let's press run again. Let's press run. So our vector can be a line, can be a polygon, can be a point. Polygon has length and breadth. Alright, the image classification is done. The image classification is done. So we can see the preview of the, it's still running. So let's off all these ones and on this. Let's zoom this to layer. So I did not allow it to run very well. So the next thing we do after this is to reclassify the image to be able to get the count. To reclassify the image, we can come to do that. We can come to analysis, tools, then we press reclassify. So we select the image that came out, which is this, then we press run. So we have to wait for it while it reclassifies the image. Why am I reclassifying? I want the red, blue and green cans to be made 1, so that I can use the number of counts or the number of pixels to get the area. That's the reason why I am classifying. So let's come to view our content to be able to show the area of content. So if I open this attribute table, so I can Control A to copy all, or to highlight all and press copy. So when you come to your Microsoft Excel, you can press this, you can press, you can paste it. So I want this Control C, Control, yeah. So the next thing I do here is to a little bit of calculation. The image we worked on is a Landsat image of 30 meter resolution. So a pixel is 30 times 30, which is 900. So we press is equals to, open a bracket, that's 900 times this count, close the bracket, divided by 1 million to convert it to kilometer square. Alright, we press enter. So you bring it here. Alright, so this is the area of each of the land use in kilometer square, that's the area. So what we can do, we can Control C. So let's paste this here. So let's copy these two and put it here. So let's highlight it, insert, so let's use this. So it's telling us that the built up area, this is the water body in Ekiti State for that year. This is the built up, this is the barren land, this is the deciduous, this is the evergreen. So we can label them, add label. So this is the area, this is 19.69 kilometers square. That's the area covered by water in Ekiti State. 127.00, that's the area covered by buildings. This one is area covered by barren land, the area covered by sparse vegetation, and the area covered by deep forest. So we can also change our chart type. We can change it to pie chart, so we can see. Now let's go back to the image. We can clear this. So let's close this, come back to our view content, so let's zoom this to layer. You right click on this and press zoom to layer. So we can change the symbols. Come to symbology, right click and come to symbology. So let's change it to something more reasonable. So we want to select the best color to depict what is on ground. So this water, let's call it blue. So those are the water bodies in Ekiti State, or flooded area, developed. Let's call it this color. Then barren land, let's call it yellow. Then this, let's pick this as a very deep green. Yes. So this is the land use land cover. We can make this something reddish too. So the reddish color are the built up areas in Ekiti State. Okay, the deep green are the forest, the yellowish are the sparse, open spaces. Okay, now we can do some kind of to produce our final map. We can come to this insert, come to new layout, you come to Lego, so then come to our insert bar, frame, you press this, so you can do this like this. All right, so we can, on this, let's zoom it to layer, press zoom to layer. So here we can now add some other things. We can add our true north, the next thing, we can add our legend, okay. On the legend, we don't want this, all right. Okay, we don't want output, we don't want this, so this is what we want. So we can change this to land use, land cover 2023. You can call it Ekiti land use, land cover 2023. So this one we can change it to so this is the land use, land cover for Ekiti State. We can insert again, put our scale bar, so click on it twice is in miles. We have to put it on kilometer. Then the last thing, we have to add our grid line. So to get that, come to view our table of contents. So on this we highlight it. We now come to insert. It's still not showing. On map, insert, on this layout. Okay, seems I'm not, so let's click on this place, then come to insert and press graphical. So this is a grid line. Come to view again to look for our table of contents. So right click on the grid line, properties. So let's come to grid lines, then we come to this place, we toggle this off. I don't want to see the lines. So this is the land use, land cover of Ekiti State for 2023. So we can export, if we want to put it, we can export as a JPEG or whatever, but I don't need it for export. So the area cover too, the area cover by each of the one of the classes, we can get them. So this is the area cover, and say label, add label. So this is the area cover. So thank you for watching the video, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.